everybody, welcome to Rocky Mountain Day 4 of VBS. Oh my gosh, are you having fun traveling through the Rocky Mountains, learning about Jesus' power and how it can power us through life? Oh man, I am. If you are having fun, let me hear a loud choo-choo! Oh, come on, I know you're having fun. Let me hear you louder. Choo-choo! Awesome, good stuff. So, today, we will be meeting new friends, learning some cool stuff, and doing a fun experiment. So, why don't we get up and get started with our first song, Your Power Will Pull Us Through. Let's sing and dance.
We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, oh, oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. We stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you. Trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you.
At Rocky Railway, we are imagining what it's like to travel through these Rocky Mountains, both in our lives and also, figuratively. Look at where we are. We are in the Rocky Mountains. Those mountains actually go all the way from New Mexico to Canada to, just kind of everywhere. Rocky Mountains are so cool. It makes me wonder something. If you went into the Rockies, what would you do there? Take a second with your crew and just talk about that, okay? And we'll regroup. That is so awesome. I was kind of overhearing a lot of the fun stuff that you were talking about. So great, guys. It is so amazing because God made all of us so different. We have different colored eyes, different hair, we are short and tall. We are so different, but there is one thing in common. We are all going in one direction. in one direction of our lives. So why don't we take a second and sing a song that talks exactly about that, about the trains that we are on and the directions that we are going on. This song is called This Train is Bound for Glory. So let's get up and let's sing this awesome, awesome song.
This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. 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 Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train.
Okay, now let's bring it down.
This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train. Oh, this train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train. This train. This train. This train.
Wow, that song makes me so excited to go to heaven, where we will get to live with God forever. There will be no suffering and no sorrow in heaven. That's what the Bible tells us. It is way better than earth. There is singing and dancing, which we love here at Sing and Play. So, why don't we get up and sing our next song, Everywhere I Go? Because everywhere we go, God is with us, and we will rejoice in His awesome, awesome power.
Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid. This my home, come what may. Where I go with you. Where I go with you. There's a spirit I cannot contain. There's a spirit I cannot contain. The same power that raised Jesus up from the grave. The same spirit I cannot contain. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid. This my home, come what may. Where I go with you. Where I go with you. Where I go with you. Breath upon these bones, your fire in my soul, your kingdom is my home, and I don't walk alone. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid. This my home, come what may. Where I go with you. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you.
question for you. Have you ever waited for something for so long, but then it didn't come? For example, has anyone at school ever had to wait for their parents and they didn't know if they were going to come? Oh man, I had that. One day I was waiting at school for 2 hours and I was so sad because I thought my dad wouldn't come pick me up. Turns out he just had a really long nap and he didn't get up. But that kind of experience has happened to a lot of us, where it gets a bit frightening because we just don't know. One thing that will reassure us about things that are frightening, that has to do with the future, is that we can hope in things. I hope that my dad would come and he showed up. We have that same hope that we have in Jesus. We can trust in God to be able to take us where we need to go, and that is heaven. We can only get there through Jesus. Isn't that amazing? That is such awesome news. So when we feel worried, when we feel scared, we can always remember that we can trust in Jesus and have the hope that he will be there, right there with us, carrying our burdens and our worries and hugging us and comforting us whenever we feel fear. So why don't we get up and sing our next song, In You Alone, that talks about how we can put our trust in Jesus and he will carry us through life.
God of heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand, you give me faith, and I will put my hope in you alone, in you alone. God of heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand, you give me faith, and I will put my hope in you alone, in you alone.
I will put my hope in you, Lord. You alone are everything I need. My hope is in you alone, in you alone. I will put my hope in you, Lord. You alone are everything I need. My hope is in you alone, in you alone.
Heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand, you give me faith, and
Everything I need.
my hope is in you alone, in you alone. Heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand, you give me faith, and
Everything I need.
my hope is in you alone, in you alone. God of heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand, you give me faith, and I will put my hope in you alone, in you alone. God of heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand, you give me faith, and I will put my hope in you alone, in you alone.
Awesome singing, guys. I'm so excited. We had an awesome sing and play. I will see you at Rocky Wrap Up, so I hope you have an awesome day, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.
Hey everyone, it's Saul, but now people call me Paul too. Welcome back to Bible Adventure Day 4. In today's lesson, I'm going to teach my fellow comrades about how Jesus' power gives us hope. So listen up. Boy, does everyone on this ship need hope. If you're wondering what happened after I escaped Damascus, I went to Jerusalem and was given orders by James, the head of the Christian council, to go tell people about Jesus. It was so exciting. I went to all these different Roman cities and helped build some churches too. So many people came to know and trust Jesus by placing their faith and hope in him. But when I visited some other Roman cities, I was heavily persecuted. And they tried to throw rocks at me and my friends because I freely told everyone I met about Jesus. So eventually I was arrested. But even though I was put in prison, I still wanted everyone to know about Jesus. So I asked the great King Agrippa to let me go to the emperor of all of Rome so that I could tell him about Jesus too. The great King Agrippa agreed to my request and allowed me to sail with a Roman centurion named Julius so he can guard me and the crew. He's been very kind, but he didn't listen to my warning not to sail in the winter. See, it's not because it's going to be cold, but because there's a good chance that the weather is going to be really stormy. And no one wants to be in the middle of the sea during a storm. That's why I was just throwing the ship's cargo overboard. Before you came on board with us, I had to help Alexander, the captain of the ship, to cut down the sail and throw it overboard. When the captain tells you to throw the sail overboard, well, you know that him and the crew really have lost all hope.
Listen up, everyone! We've been at sea in a storm for the last 14 days where we haven't seen the sun or the moon in this time. And many of you haven't eaten as well. So as captain, it's my decision that you, as the crew, go down to the prisoners to tell them that all hope is lost and that we will not be surviving the storm.
Wow, now these people really need hope. Little do they know that an angel from God appeared to me last night and told me that I would talk to the emperor and everyone in this ship is under my care. That's a huge responsibility, but I continue to hope in Jesus. Remember how Philip told us that Jesus calmed the storm by literally rebuking the winds and the waves? I have hope in Jesus, and I know that he will carry me through.
Listen up, everyone! Paul, the prisoner of Julius, has a message for us all. We speak, Paul.
Crewmen, I urge you to keep up your courage, because not one of you will be lost. Only the ship needs to be destroyed. Last night, an angel of God, who I serve, stood beside me and said, "Do not be afraid. You must talk to the emperor, and God has graciously given you all the lives of those who sail with you." So keep up your courage, men. I have faith in God that it will happen just as he has told me. Nevertheless, we must crash on some island.
As hopeless, we'll all drown. We place our hope in a man who claims he saw a vision.
Men, I do not place my hope in myself, but the Lord Jesus, who has the authority over the sea and the dry land.
I trust Paul and the God that he believes in. When Paul warned me that we should not sail during the winter, we did not listen. But perhaps we should listen to him now.
Alexander, unless these men stay with the ship, we will all perish.
All of you, come back! We will not be using the lifeboats.
That's an order!
Now men, I urge you, take some food needed for your strength and to survive. Not one of you will lose a single hair from your head. Now, if any of you have a snack on hand, now's the time to eat it. Ask your parent or guardian for the goldfish from your day 4 bag and come back in 2 minutes. How was your snack? We ate some food too to get back our strength, but now it's time for it to get really rocky.
Wait, what's that? There's an island up ahead. The winds are getting really heavy though, so we better not miss it. Cut the anchor!
Remember when Philip told us that our hope in Jesus is like an anchor that holds in the midst of a storm? Since we need to make sure we get to dry land, we're going to need to run the ship straight into the ground and crash. But we're going to really need to rely on Jesus in this time to be our anchor.
Brace for impact!
Wow, what an adventure! Jesus really is the only hope we have in the storms of life. What are some storms that you've been going through? And have you talked to Jesus about them? Remember, you can always pray to Him when you're in the middle of a storm, even if it's a scary one. Well, I better get off this boat and you should too. Thank you for joining me on this journey, even if it was really scary. Be sure to join us on the island and hope to see you tomorrow.
Welcome to day 4 of Imagination Station. Yesterday we looked at how Paul looked to Jesus to find hope, and today's theme again is Jesus' power gives us hope. Today we're going to be talking about how the 12 disciples looked to Jesus during the storm to find hope. Please take out your day 4 craft kit. Today's craft is the storm bottle and Jesus' power gives us hope wheel. In your craft bag, we pre-made your storm with oil and water. We want you to decorate the sea however you want. In your bag, there is glitter, stickers, and other fun toys to decorate your sea, like this. When you're done, let's move on to the next craft, which is Jesus Comes the Storm Wheel. This craft shows that when we have hope in Jesus, He can even change the weather. In your craft bag, you should have all these pieces. First, let's align the pieces together. The Jesus piece, the wheel, and the background. And I want you to use a brass fastener to hold them together and put it through. Then spread the wings of the brass fasteners at the back. Then tape the waves on the background, but behind the ship. And then tape the ship onto the waves so that Jesus does not move when we change the weather. Like this. And if you want, you can add the Bible verse. You have little faith, why are you so afraid? Ta-da! Isn't that cool? Remember that Jesus' power gives us hope, and when we trust in Jesus, He will protect us like how He protected the 12 disciples. See you next time. Bye!
Hello everyone, welcome to another day of games. So today is a game that's probably familiar to all of you. It's called Bingo. Alright, so for those who don't know how to play bingo, you're supposed to grab your markers, your bingo markers, which are the pebbles that are in your kit, and a bingo sheet. So we're gonna take a look at what the leaders have. And they're different variations, and they're related to the story you guys learned today. So your goal is to get 5 in a row. It can either be horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. And you'll see that there's a free square in the middle, so you can put a stone there right now. So that can give you a head start. Now, I am going to start calling different items on the grid, and you guys are gonna match it. The first picture is an anchor. This relates back to the story you guys learned this morning. And the next one is wheat. Next one is a map. Next one is Paul. ball. Are we getting close? Yeah, almost there? Okay, let's keep going. Next one is an angel. Remember, an angel came at night and told Paul, right? That everyone would survive. The next one is land. Because we saw land a little bit later. Remember to yell bingo if you get a bingo. Next one is handcuffs. The prisoners, right? Who's getting close? Next one is a tree to symbolize life. Because they were all gonna live, right? Oh. The next one is a snowflake for winter, because they were sailing during winter. Ooh, are we almost there?
Almost.
Close.
One more.
One more.
Cloud.
This one is
Bingo!
Yay!
I got
Good job.
diagonal.
Let's see the diagonal. Awesome. So let's reveal what's underneath the first one. Okay. Do you have an anchor? Let's see. Do I have that?
Yeah.
Awesome. And the next one is a cloud, which I have here also. Next one is free, which is free. Next one is a map. So you're journeying, right? And the last one is the snowflake, because they're sailing during winter. Awesome! Yay! Good job, Rachel! And it's okay if you didn't win, because ultimately you find victory in Jesus, right? And He won everything for us.
Welcome back to KidVid Cinema. How's VBS been so far?
I love getting together with all my friends to learn more about Jesus' power. When I look around our VBS, I see Jesus' power in the way He made each one of you. You're each so special. I wish I could give you all high fives. Instead, let's do a big virtual high five now. Awesome!
Today, we're going to watch a video about Yaphet, a kid who loves space. When we look at creation, the world God made, we can have a lot of hope. And that's today's Bible point. Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus. Let's watch the video.
Hi, my name is Yaphet and I am 8 years old. Some of the things I like to do for fun is ride my bike, play basketball, craft some things that are really hard. For example, the paper model of Launch Complex 39A at Kennedy Space Center, Florida. One day I want to be an astronaut. These books are about space. One of them is written by an astronaut named Dave Williams, who I have actually met in real life, like when I went to a museum in Hamilton. When I met the astronaut, I was excited because of all the military aircraft I saw. And I saw lots and lots of rocket planes that can fly really fast, faster than the speed of sound. I first wanted to become an astronaut when I was in SK, so 3 years ago. And the reason why is because I really like exploring and learning, and since space, based on the universe, is expanding, I think that learning about space will never end. It can tell you lots about the past, what's happening now, called present, and the future. This is my astronaut suit. This is one of 2 astronaut suits I have. I like space, especially exoplanets, which are planets beyond our solar system, maybe even beyond this galaxy. Jesus' power gives me hope because he's really strong and he's very nice to everyone. And he helps lots of people. Jesus' power gives me hope when I'm studying about space.
Wow, Yaphet knows so much about space, doesn't he? It's amazing how every one of us can glorify God in a unique way, even though something like studying about space.
What is one skill or talent you have that glorifies God? You guys are awesome. There's so much talent at this VBS.
Today's verse is a really powerful one. Psalm 31:24 says, "So be strong and courageous, all who put our hope in the Lord." What a great verse. Jesus' power will help us be strong and courageous.
What do you think it means to put your hopes in the Lord? To me, putting my hope in the Lord means trusting Him completely. I know that whatever situation I'm in, Jesus is there for me. No matter what I'm going through, I know I can count on Him to help me.
I love that Jesus' power can give us strength and courage to give others hope. And Jesus' power can help us when we're the ones who need hope. Remember, Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus.
Thank you kids for coming to KidVid Cinema, and I encourage you to come back so we can watch some real stories about real kids. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Hi everybody and welcome to Snack Station. Okay, I'm excited to eat today together with you guys. So before we start anything, before we do anything, let's wash our hands. Okay, so go wash your hands, take some time, get them all nice and clean. So before we touch any of our food, okay? So today's Bible lesson, we're going to be learning about Paul. Do you guys remember Paul? We mentioned him the other day. So Paul got into this huge, crazy shipwreck, okay? But everyone was saved because God saved them and rescued them and put them on an island. So guess what we're going to be making today? We're gonna be making a cute little island, okay, with some palm trees. So you're going to need your snack kits. And in your snack kits, you have a Rice Krispie. You have some little gummies, sliced gummies. And you have a few pretzels. So we'll be using 3, but you might be breaking them, so that's why you probably have a lot, okay? The first thing you're going to do after you have all your stuff set up is you're going to grab your pretzel, okay? And your sliced fruit gummy. And you're going to carefully, guys, this is very important, carefully stab the pretzel into the gummy. And see, it can break really easily. So you guys have to be careful, okay? So try your best. And do better than I just did. And gently put your this onto your Rice Krispie. So after you have your little palm tree leafy here, you're gonna put it onto your Rice Krispie. So I'm putting it right in the center, so that worked best for me, okay? So put it right into the center and be careful, we don't wanna be breaking our pretzels like I did earlier, okay? So it should look like this, okay? And do that for the other 2. So grab your pretzel and your slice and gently put it in, but firmly put it in without breaking your pretzel, and put it into your island, okay, like this. So you can put it beside each other, I put it beside each other, and you might have to squish your Rice Krispie together so that it holds, okay? So grab another pretzel, so I have here an extra pretzel, and let's do the last one, okay? So same thing, gently put it on and attach it here. Okay, so see how the Rice Krispie is separating? So push it through, and then it's okay, you can just squeeze it back together, okay? So you have here your little palm trees, okay? If your palm tree is falling over, that's okay. Not all palm trees are straight, so don't worry about it, okay? So as you eat your delicious island, let's remember that our strength or our power comes from our hope in Jesus, okay? God gives us hope for rough times like shipwrecks, okay? So don't worry, whenever you're on an island, remember that our hope is in God. So as you eat everything, let's remember that our hope is in God. So enjoy your food, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Bye.
so glad to see you all back for Rocky Wrap Up Day 4. Oh my goodness, guys, we have a really, really cool experiment today, and I'm so excited. It's gonna be the best thing ever. But before we begin, you know the drill. Let's get up, let's sing, and let's dance to our first song, Your Power Will Pull Us Through.
We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, oh, oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. We stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you. Trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you.
God is everywhere. He is in the small things and in the big things and in the, honestly, just everywhere. What are your God sightings for the day? I'm so excited. I love hearing your God sightings because it's so nice to see God's evidence of things all around us. So take a second and with your crews, talk about your God sighting for the day. Awesome God sightings, guys. Honestly, the next experiment that we have, I think that will be your next God sighting. It is so cool. So let's turn to our experiment. So for our next experiment, that honestly, I feel like you could do this at home as well. In one jar, or jug, I have plain water, okay? So it's just regular plain water. In our second jar, there is a lot of salt in this. So let me just put a little bit more salt in here. And let me stir it all up. Okay? So, super salty. Honestly, I kind of want to taste it to see, but I don't like things that are super salty, so maybe I'll just pass on that. But I have a bunch of eggs. So, honestly, I want to see, will these eggs float or will they sink? So, in the water that's just plain, let's see. What's your guess though? Do you think it'll float or it'll sink? Let's check. Oh, our eggs sunk completely to the bottom. Okay, let's fish that out and let's try in our super, super salt water. Okay, what do we think? Honestly, I feel like it might sink because the egg is so heavy, but let's see. Oh my gosh, did you guys see that? It bobbed all the way to the top. Whoa, that's crazy. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, maybe it was a fluke. Oh, okay, so that sunk. How did it float? The egg is so, so heavy. Okay, let's try it again. Oh man, that was so cool. Let's see it again. Okay. It came all the way to the top. So, why do you think that happened? Salt water actually weighs so much more than tap water because it's denser. Denser basically means it's heavier and that it weighs much, much more. Did you know that the Dead Sea is actually 10 times as salty as the regular world's oceans, with salt content that is 26 to 35%. That is a lot of salt. Honestly, if I tried a little taste of the Dead Sea, I might just pass out because of the saltiness. That is a lot of salt. Honestly, when I was about to do this experiment, I was like, that is no way. There is no way that the egg that completely went down and sunk in this top water would float in the salt water. And honestly, did you know that in the Dead Sea, if you went and you floated, you would honestly just come all the way to the top. You will not be able to sink. It is impossible for anything to actually sink in the Dead Sea. Honestly, so impossible. But the fact that the salt makes the objects float, and if we went to the Dead Sea the same way the salt would make us float, it is possible. It is so possible. Are there times in your life where you are going through something and you thought, oh my goodness, this is just so impossible. There is no way that anything like that is going to happen. Have you ever had a time like that? Why don't you take a second to think about it? I've actually had the same kind of experiences where, you know, I was at school and I had to do a test and I was like, there is no way, it is impossible that I will be able to do well on this because I was so nervous. But one thing that actually let me go through that part of my terrible experience, of my confusion, was trusting in Jesus and trusting in God. When we trust in God, the impossible becomes possible. And God and His power shows us exactly that amazing, amazing fact. Jesus' power gives us hope that the impossible can become possible. Why don't we do our Bible point together? Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus. Choo-choo! That is our Bible point for today. And you know what? Our Bible buddy Finn told us exactly that. His power and Jesus' power alone gives us hope to power through life when things just seem so difficult. Sometimes our worries might feel really, really heavy. The same way that the egg weighed way more and in the water it sunk. It's like sometimes when we're going through things that are so difficult, we just feel like we can't float to the top. We are just sinking through and we just have no way that we might be able to do things. But Jesus and His power makes us float just like the eggs floated in the salt water because Jesus carries our weight. Isn't that amazing? Why don't we get up and sing our next song, Power in the Blood.
Would you do service for Jesus, your King? There's power in the blood, power in the blood. Would you live daily His praises to sing? There's wonderful power in the blood.
today we discovered that Jesus' power gives us hope. Oh, how awesome is it? We might feel as heavy as we can with our worries and our stresses and sometimes our fears even. But we are so reassured that when we hope in Jesus, we will float just like the eggs in our experiments in the salt water. Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus. Choo-choo! So that is it for our Rocky Wrap-Up Day 4. I will see you tomorrow. We will be halfway done our VBS Rocky Railway tomorrow. So honestly, we have so many more days. I'm so excited. Have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!